Assalamu alaikum. I hope you have been well. Today we will be discussing polygamy in Islam. We must understand the historical context before we delve right into the Quranic passages. So we are in pre-Islamic Arabia, and men can have any amount of wives or concubines or women he has relations with. There is no limit for him. And then Islam comes with the Quran and the perfected way of life for human beings. And we are given a verse which limits what the norm is in the society in which it was revealed. But since Islam is a universal and timeless religion, indeed the perfected way of life for human beings to live, we are also having to put it within the broader context of human psychology and social justice and all of the things that the Quran stands for time and time again, which are mercy and equality and creating an ideal society for human beings if we would just follow it, right? So that's the context in which the following verse was revealed. It is verse 4:3 in the Quran, and it says, "And if you have reason to fear that you might not act equitably towards orphans." Okay, so we're talking about orphans here, and you can read about the historical perspective of that. But I would just like us to acknowledge that it has a specific context. "Then marry from among other women such as are lawful to you, even 2, 3, or 4. But if you have reason to fear that you might not be able to treat them with equal fairness, then only 1, or from among those whom you rightfully possess. This will make it more likely that you will not deviate from the right course." So for me, even in verse 4:3, it's clear that 1 is preferred, okay? But it says if you could achieve equalness in your treatment of both or 3 or 4 of your wives, then you have the allowance. But then the Quran comes back in verse 129 and says this, "And it will not be within your power to treat your wives with equal fairness, however much you may desire it." So even if you are taking a second wife as a selfless act, that's not because of your nafs or your ego or your own desires, but really for her betterment, and your first wife is okay with it, and she wants to help the woman as well, the child, the whatever, the children of the woman. She's a widow, or she needs social support. Fine, right? But then we're told that you're not going to be able to treat them equally even if you wanted to, because you're a human being and you're flawed. I believe this is what the Quran is saying to us, okay? And then we can follow this up too with the verse that tells us that we were created in pairs, okay? Observe the world around you. Observe what works better. There have been multiple studies about the psychological effects on women and children, and they're not good. Even the men in the relationships. Anecdotally, I'll never forget the face of the only man I have met who has attempted polygamy. And he was just miserable. I'll never forget it. So it's not revealed as an abuse to just take multiple wives and dispose of them how you will. It's a serious matter. And what's more is, I believe the Quran tells you it's not what you should be doing. But Allah knows. Let's start having some common sense as Muslims and actually understand what the Quran is telling us. I hope that cleared up polygamy in Islam for you. Assalamu alaikum.